My name is Sterling, like the silver, and today I'm with Hero Cosmetics on their YouTube channel, and I'm going to be showing you how to do a beautiful drag makeup transformation perfect for the holiday season. So watch me go from this to this. Today I'm going to be using the Invisible Mighty Patches by Hero Cosmetics, which is going to help keep all of my blemishes and whiteheads from resurfacing and getting all gross and gunky because, you know, I'm always wearing makeup and I want to keep those at bay. And I bet you couldn't even notice that I'm wearing one right now in the center of my forehead. I'm going to start by taking one of these patches and applying it on one of my blemishes so that it's protected throughout the day underneath my makeup. I have one right here, so I'm just going to apply it, and it's going to blend right underneath my foundation, and nobody will even know that you're wearing one. I'm going to start by mixing my two favorite foundations, the 24-Hour All Hours YSL foundation and the Cover FX Natural Finish foundation. Pump a little bit of both onto the back of my hand. This way I kind of get like the perfect formulation. They're very different formulations and very different colors, and I like to mix them up because my skin changes a lot. I'm going to start by dotting it on the face. And I really want something that's going to be very, very full coverage. Always make sure to get the foundation into your ears. It is so, so important. You want to make sure that everything is the same color from the face down to the neck. I'm sure you can't even tell where I placed those patches. Now that I'm wearing foundation, it's not adding any significant texture or any indignation that it's there, which I love. I like to know that my skin is healing while I'm wearing makeup instead of getting worse. I'm using the Kimchi The Most concealer, which is my absolute favorite concealer that I've used for drag specifically. And I'm just going to start painting underneath the eye where I want a little bit of brightness, or I guess a lot of bit of brightness. So I actually started doing drag when I was 14 years old. I'm from a very religious, conservative background based out of Idaho. Well, doing makeup in Idaho specifically was not really something that was readily accepted, but I had fallen in love with it because I was always a huge fan of horror films. And I started actually with special effects makeup. It kind of grew from there, and I discovered drag because of theater and started doing drag because I loved horror films. So it's kind of this really fun connection, and it kind of actually plays into why I do so much like more gothic, scary makeup. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. You wanna let the concealer dry down a little bit so that it becomes more full coverage and sticks a little bit better. I'm then going to go in and start contouring. I'm going to use my Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover Foundation, and I'm going to use this in a neutral 7 shade because I want something that's not going to be too warm but not too cool tone, so that it looks like the structure of my bone. And I'm going to start by contouring my cheeks and my nose. I'm going to pack on just a little bit of that color there. A little bit on this side. I like to do this before I blend out my concealer because it actually makes the contour look a little bit softer and more diluted and blended. So we had a little light change. I added more concealer too, so get into it. I'm gonna start blending out my concealer now that I've applied where I want my contour. And I'm gonna actually use a powder puff. This is an ancient drag technique, way before my time. I'm only 22. So I'm gonna use it just like I would use a beauty blender, right underneath my eyes. When I was 16 years old, I had cystic acne and it was terrible and I hated my life. And once I took Accutane, it really cleared everything up. But I wish I always had something that was going to, you know, like, I wish like these pads had existed when I was a teenager because that would have saved my entire life. All right, I'm gonna take the contour shade that I used before on my cheeks, and I'm gonna contour my nose real quick. It's the hardest part of my makeup. So excuse me while I don't speak for a second. Okay, so you thought we were done with concealer, but we're never done with concealer. I'm going back in with it to just make that nose contour as sharp as humanly possible. Again, I'm following the corner of my eye, and I'm just gonna take that and clean it right up. So now that we've finished the nose contour, I'm going to go on with a little bit of powder and then we're going to start on our eyes. I'm going to be very methodical about the way that we do our powder, and by methodical I mean smashing a ton of it on my face. I'm now going to use a finishing powder over different points of my face. It's a little bit darker, so I'm actually going to take it at the points that I want to contour a little bit more. Just blend that pretty much everywhere. Something that I'm going to start with is blush before my eyes, because my blush is actually going to be into my eyes. Plus, I just like the look of blush before anything else. It's like my favorite part. I'm going to start with this light pink blush from Dior, and I'm going to start blending that in the lower corners of my eyes and on my cheekbones, and high points of my cheekbones. We're going to blend it with something a little bit more red, but this is going to help dilute the color. It's going to help blend it once we get to that point so that it's a more seamless, beautiful, blushy 1920s high glam look. It's perfect for the holidays. A little bruised at first, but that's okay. Makeup is a journey. Now, if you were a normal person, you'd probably stop here, but I'm not normal and I'm very extra. So we're going to go even harder and we're going to apply a lot more blush. I'm going to take this red, this bright orangey red blush called Exhibit A from NARS. It's my favorite blush. I've had it for like 2 years and I use it all the time, and look how full it still is. It's worth the money. So I'm going to start and I'm just going to pack it on. I'm now going to take a more condensed eyeshadow brush. I'm going to go into that blush and make it even more pigmented closer to the eye. So usually just right here. Now I'm going to take a blue eyeshadow from Juvia's Place and apply this in the inner corner of my eye and meet it with my nose contour. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to apply a little bit darker of a blue eyeshadow underneath it to kind of smoke it out and give it a little bit more dimension and depth using a pigment. I'm also going to take this blue shadow and blend it right here, really focusing that color to really wing it out. You know, the drag scene in New York City is one of the best in the world. We're very, very adaptable, and one of the coolest things is online drag that has happened. It's a very new thing, I think, for a lot of drag queens, and we've been able to adapt and work our creative juices to create really incredible art and try new different things. This Epixium Cosmetic Emulsion, put it back in my hand, angled liner brush, and just make a really nice defined sharp line. Lip pencil from Ace Beauty, and severely overline my lips so that you can't tell that I have these itsy bitsy tiny little ones. Let's get into the gig. Let's get into this outfit. So this is the final look. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Where's my mirror? Yes, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I stole this look from Bergdorf in the 1980s. It's been in my closet since then, and this is the first time I've broken it out. Right here. Can you even see it? No, you can't. You can find more of my sickening makeup looks at Sterling Tull NYC on Instagram. That's Sterling Tull NYC. And you can find me on the corner getting a deli sandwich later in about 10 minutes. Thank you so much for watching Hero Cosmetics. I hope to see you next time.